All right, we're live. It's the Spinnin Backfist MMA show for Tuesday, October 24th, and it is UFC 294 recap edition. Huge card this weekend, and we're going to be talking about it all, presented by Monaco. Down here, we've got the cans made with tequila. We've also got the cans made with vodka. Tequila, you're getting 2 shots in every can, 9% alcohol. Same with vodka, actually, 2 shots in every can, 9%. But they've got the margarita, and then the vodka, you've got the hard lemonade. Double vodka Don. He loves some hard lemonade from Monaco.
The best.
Shout out Monaco.
Also, the Kentucky coffee. We mention that every week as well. The coffee whiskey. They're not just a canned whiskey vodka company. They also indulge in some whiskey.
I mean, it's a beautiful. I mean, just look at it right now. I love the setup. There's 2 on each side, and obviously the Kentucky coffee in the middle. We love Monaco. Shout out Monaco, and time to get into some fights.
Yeah, with the first comment I saw, from Vince, who is always a loyal chat guy. Shout out Mitt Romney, Quilly, Vince, Nick in the chat. If you're listening to just the audio of this, it must be weird to hear every week, like, shout out Mitt Romney.
Yeah,
we have a guy in our chat named Mitt Romney. But the first comment I saw from Vince said, weird card overall. That's a good way of putting it.
I agree,
for a long time, it was a pretty weird card. We had the weird stuff with the doctor, with the nut shot, with Johnny Walker. We had some weird fights early on. The weird thing with Nathaniel Wood is
the second fight was somebody who had a staph infection. Victoria Dudakova, who said it's somewhere that nobody should talk about.
She said the abscess burst and went all up her back, which
she basically said she had staph in like her asshole.
Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah. Really gross.
And then the goat Breeden also
had staph.
Oh, and Breeden's just the goat.
Breeden,
American hero.
I think my favorite fighter ever.
So fucking awesome.
That was him just being down 2 rounds and just walking him down like barking at him.
And he was saying USA, USA.
He's like, I'm barking at him because I'm a dog. And then the second he won, him being like, the Kansas City Chiefs play tomorrow.
It's like, fuck yeah.
That was great.
That was my favorite moment of the card.
Yeah, it was probably my favorite too.
And lands a clean knockout shot to flatlined him.
Really good knockout.
I thought Jubilee was gonna because it felt like there was a few moments where Jubilee was on the ropes and Breeden like almost I guess this was he got the knockout, but it felt like Breeden wasn't pushing it. And then I was like, finish him, and then he just truly just fell. He just fell
flat as face.
Flattened him. Yeah.
I'm happy. I was screaming at my actually with me. So for some reason I was in this tiny hotel room in California. The hotels are small. Watching Ohio State, Penn State, like a 40-inch TV. Wow, for some reason my iPad would not work with the Wi-Fi. So I literally bought the pay-per-view on my phone.
Yeah.
And just had my iPhone just propped up. And I am screaming at Mike Breeden. I'm like, go get him. Go get him. Like, he's hurt so much, screaming, knock him out. While he's like barking at him, he's fighting. I'm like, go just punch him in his face. And
people in the hotel room next to you were probably like, what the fuck?
I thought I was going to get a complaint. I really was. I was screaming. And for there, it's super early. It was like 9 in the morning.
Yeah.
I'm maybe not even at that time. I was screaming at it for him to just go knock him out. And he did it. God bless him.
It was absolutely awesome. Also, obviously, the main event. Huge finish for Islam Makhachev. First round head kick. Kicks Volk into a new dimension. And then also the follow-up shots were so brutal with his head on Islam's knee. It was like he was bouncing his chin off his own knee.
He had his one, Islam, the way he did it was so smart. He basically pinned his whole body against the cage. So basically both his arms were kind of like this. He kind of was sort of able to and he definitely was. He was out on his feet. I mean, the way when he hit him with a kick, the way I've never seen him get hurt like that.
No, and the fact
he hit him like wobbled, like he just was like.
I texted you guys even afterwards when he's sitting against the cage and he's got like lines of blood like across his face like that. It's just fucked up to see. You never think of seeing Volkanovski like defeated just like that. I mean, Islam beat him the first time. It was like, all right, he ended the fight fucking on top. He still looks fine. This one is like, damn, someone like actually beat Volk.
Did you see somebody pointed this out? I think Islam had it on his story. So he landed a very similar head kick in the first fight.
Yeah.
But he landed it because Volk had his hand up.
Yeah, he did.
Not that would have stopped it.
He said in the post fight, he was like, I thought I blocked that kick and I just didn't.
But Islam hit him just right up here.
Yeah.
I mean, just phenomenal.
Felder almost called it too on commentary. Felder was like, that left high kick worked really
well.
Because he caught.
I know. I rewatched last night. He did say that.
Yeah, and shout out, Islam. I mean, he's just He's a phenomenal fight.
That picture of him afterwards doing that.
Yeah,
That was,
Yeah,
I think his name is Chris Unger, who is Stooley. So shout out Chris.
Yeah.
Awesome picture
Great
he took,
photo.
yeah. Really good shit. Co-main event.
Quick, I want to talk quick. Just
Oh yeah,
some of the press conference after the Volk was tough.
really tough.
You
He
could
was
tell how
emotional.
much he was saying how he never dealt with it before. Just kind of the athlete. Not only athletes say when they retire, they kind of just don't know what to do.
Yeah.
He was kind of having it like in the midst of, and I remember he even said it was kind of weird hearing kind of the two ends of it where he had told the story initially. I forget what interview I was watching. Someone asked him kind of how he got the call, how it came about,
Yep.
and he got the call, and he said he was at the time. It didn't sound as like somber. It was leading up to the fight, and he was saying how he was excited, like he needed this, and even when he talked to his wife, he said his wife like knew he needed something like this. But then hearing it after, where it was more like he was in this like weird depression state, and it just kind of like picked him back up.
Yeah.
But then he talked about it too with kind of the way the first 3 minutes went. I mean, he didn't really throw a punch he never really threw a strike.
Yeah.
And he said it was kind of this weird moment where leading up to it, his whole pitch was like, I'm gonna be the most dangerous. I'm loose. I'm coming in whatever off the couch, but obviously it was training. And he said kind of he had this weird moment where he kind of was just waiting to land that big shot, and he kind of he didn't know what really I think he pretty much said it was the first time in a fight that he was so like hesitant.
Yeah.
He kind of was like waiting for that moment. It just never really came. He just hesitated, and then the kick happens and it's over.
Yeah. It was like somber like afterwards because we were saying like, oh yeah, it's basically got nothing to lose. Obviously, like the pride was the big thing for
I
this.
thought
Like, I
that
think
for you,
he really got his pride hurt.
even from the beginning, I thought that narrative was nonsense. Like
Yeah.
that he had nothing to lose because even said like even the commentator said right after like, oh, like they're not going to fight again.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
he basically,
the risk
like,
you run.
His shot at 155 is pretty much unless Islam loses or retires. 155 for him is sort of like unless he'd have to go on an incredible run
Yeah.
to get that fight again. He could get it against someone else for sure.
Yep.
Because he's that good.
I would
But
guess that was the last time we saw him in
But
Islam.
yeah, I don't think they're not going to fight. He would have to do incredible things to get that fight again.
And honestly, I would love to see him fight again in January. I don't know if that's a good idea right now.
I was thinking this. I'm glad you brought that up because I was thinking the same thing where I almost feel like he needs to get this like mental thing figured out of like he needs to be able to live comfortably without fighting. Or like
and also like you're gonna fight Topuria, who I think Volkanovski is overall like across the board better than in MMA, but Topuria's biggest risk is knocking him out. And do you want to step into the cage with someone that actually poses that risk against you right after you got knocked out and got your chin tested like that?
Well, no, I agree with you. I think that was the most dangerous thought I had when I was watching the press conference of him talking about it after. That was my biggest concern. I was like, I just had this like really dark vision in my head of like, oh my God, like, and I'm a Topuria fan, but I just had this dark vision of like, oh man, like he gets knocked out by Islam, and then he takes this fight like 3 months later against a really talented power puncher and gets clipped again. Like I just don't want Volk to like all of a sudden this turns into some like spiral.
Yeah.
Of like, because I don't know. I would hate to see him. I just love Volk. He came in, great guys. In my opinion, he's one of the greatest fighters of all time.
I don't know what they do. For
I still
card.
believe that, but
that's.
I think he's gonna do it. So whether I agree with it or don't,
yeah.
I think he's gonna do it.
But that's the risk you run in this game. Most careers don't end in a happy way.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, and hopefully he did say that he said he alluded to it in the post fight right after. He said, I need to stay active because when I'm not active, it's not good for me. And I heard that. I was like, ooh, that doesn't sound great. Then he said even more about how he's like had very serious mental, like just when he wasn't training, he just said he felt very down and whatnot. Yeah, that's a really tough spot because also Ab's point is probably ultimately correct. You need to figure that out. But he's also at the point of his career. He needs to. These are his prime years. I mean, I guess he got so much money here. He has enough money for the rest of his life. But he probably is like, well, I just lost. I have these mental health issues when I'm not fighting, but I'm ultimately a competitor. I need to prove everybody. But I don't think anyone looked at him getting head kick KO'd by Islam in the first round and been like, oh, Volk's bad. It's like, no.
But I know, but I do think there's some level of like, I don't want to say like hurts his legacy, but there's a level of, I think a lot of people after the last fight, I think people were so confident in him that he really had like a real chance to win. and to lose like that, where he didn't even get a punch off.
Like Islam finishes everybody, and Volk was the one he couldn't finish.
And Volk was
took
the
him
one that
5 rounds.
hurt him
Yeah.
badly, like had him on the ropes.
Yeah. So
in the
it was
5th
like,
round, I
Volk
mean,
could be that guy. There was the narrative of like, if anyone could do it, it's Volk, and that's been removed.
defended the takedowns well. Like
Yeah.
in the obviously got taken a couple times, but like got up a lot.
He defended one in this, right?
He did. He didn't get taken down.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
think he won. He tried to. He defended it well. He even said the broadcaster said you heard him out loud. It's like not happening kind of thing. Like like literally in the middle of the fight. But I'm worried about him because Topuria is the kind of guy that I think like who I just what I've seen Topuria is great, and I think the smartest thing that smart people do is listen to other smart people, and the smart people that I listen to are like just incredibly high in Topuria. I just think it's a tough fight to take after getting knocked out like 3 months prior. Like it's a hungry lion. That's a killer.
How good is Islam Makhachev though?
Crazy good.
One of the best.
Especially at stuff like that where I don't know if it's him, I don't know if it's someone in the camp, I don't know if it's Khabib finding that read.
I know they were
fight
just so
and
good
like,
at that.
You just need to throw it a little higher. Like it seemed like he also fought this fight with something to prove. Like it's like he fought being like,
I think he was happy.
This time.
I think he was happy that he got to face him.
Yeah.
Also, it was pretty cool. I mean, we see this a lot with fighters, but after the fight, the next day and whatnot, I think they went out. Maybe they got coffee or whatever, and
Probably
Starbucks, and they all put on their story, and they're like, "Hey, like shout out to Alex."
Volk was
a lot of
he's all
respect.
stitched up and shit.
I don't think there wasn't any bad blood. There were just more so they both thought they were better than
competitive.
Yeah, which is amazing. Islam's very impressive to me, but I will say, and I tweeted this out. I tweeted out he's been the lightweight champion for 100 or 366 days
over a
now.
year now,
but he's never defended it against a 155 pounder.
Oh,
real one.
weird.
I mean,
Magic pointed that out. I mean, a lot of people have.
Yeah.
Now it's that being said, he did beat Charles, and he was going to fight Charles, and the Volk fight was one that was. It wasn't like Islam's running from 155ers. So Charles will probably be next. But then it's
Dana said he's next, which I'm cool with, even though they were talking on commentary. Like, I don't know, maybe you throw Gaethje in there now. I'd be okay with that.
Gaethje said he was next. He tweeted out, I'm next. And then
with the Oliveira, like the fact that it wasn't an injury and it was just a cut, I feel like, just slide him in there. As soon as he's ready to go, get him in.
I think Charles deserves it next.
Yeah.
I also think not that I think he's going to win. I think he has a better chance than Gaethje as well.
Yeah, I'm with that.
That's my
I think
personal
he does too,
personal
especially
opinion.
watching. We just reposted it. It was like Khabib's 3-year anniversary of his last fight. Watching how quickly he got the back and sunk 2 hooks in on Gaethje was like stunning. Even just to rewatch.
Which one? Charles did it too.
The
You're saying
Khabib doing it to Gaethje.
Because Charles, Charles also hurt him badly with a punch. But Charles was on his back in a second.
Yeah, and
hurt him.
Khabib was the same, like smothered him, got him flattened out. It was just crazy. So I watched that and I was like, I don't know how much of a threat he poses against Islam. He does, don't get me wrong. He can knock anyone out. He's Gaethje, but I think Charles probably, like you said, has a better chance of beating.
I think the 2 most dangerous are probably Armin and Gamrot.
Stylistically.
But I think Islam just schools Gamrot on the feet.
That's what I was going to say too. I think he's such a better striker.
Yeah.
And then
there was a lot of Gamrot talk this week that I get he was the backup, or he was going to be the backup. I don't like. I understand like people want like. There's this weird thing where people almost put like Islam and Khabib, they're like the same.
Yeah.
So they don't see Khabib as like almost like a fresh challenger, or like obviously Poirier doesn't really deserve it right now, but Poirier got the call and literally said yes.
Yeah.
Like if Volk said no, Poirier might have fought for that belt on Saturday.
Which is crazy.
But I just think I don't know, like Gamrot, like he's a 5-1 run. I get it, but he beat Sarukian. Even the Turner fight, he won, but it was not like impressive.
I'm with you. I don't think he deserves
like,
it.
I don't think he's did like.
I even think Armin won his fight
over Charles, who has beat everybody besides Islam, and the way he ran through Dariush.
Yeah.
Like, how could he not get another one?
No, 100%. I was more saying biggest threats. Like,
no, I agree with you. Oh no, I wasn't just. Yeah, I'm just seeing a lot of Gamrot. Like he should get it. I kind of was like, why?
Well, there's also, Islam said it. I don't know if he's serious about it or whatnot. He is saying he's going to 296.
Move up, right?
And then he says he wants to face the winner of Leon and Colby. That could be just talk. Also, Islam said after his last fight, he's like, I don't know how many more fights I have left. I want to do the Habib thing where I kind of go off into the sunset. I don't know if Habib signed down. It's like, no, brother. Like,
He might be like, I already played that card. You got to stick around.
But Habib had the ultimate, like, I get why Habib retired.
Of course.
Like, the father aspect was so
Promise to his
massive.
mother, all
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Islam, I feel like, also, I mean, it depends how much he wants to do. Like, maybe he just does want to write off. But I think him not bringing it up this week, there's no murmurs of it. I think he's like, no, I want to keep fighting.
I think he's got to, not that he has to. He doesn't have to do anything. He's undefeated and all that. I'm not undefeated. Obviously,
He
Pantoja
lost
knocked
too.
him out.
Yeah, yeah.
But
One of the greatest knockouts in
he should defend the 155 title before going up.
Oh, okay.
Against the
I'm fine with
55.
that. I'm fine with that. Yeah.
I think at least one fight Oliveira, then go up and challenge for 170 if you really want that. I think that would be better.
Well, did you see
there's
Chandler's plan? He tweeted
Is he
out
doing the same thing.
No, Chandler's plan is he's going to knock out McGregor and then knock out Islam. He tweeted this out.
All right. That's my.
I mean,
plan, too.
hey, he's our guy. That's Iron Mike
knocking out
Chandler.
Islam, and then I plan on knocking out Francis Ngannou. That's my plan.
And then Dylan Dennis.
Yeah,
Of course.
the co-main event also big fight.
Where would you put before we go? Where would you put Islam in the pound for pound rankings? 2 or 3 or 1?
I think. Yeah.
He has a decent point. John Jones.
I either put him 1 or 2. I'm trying to decide between him and Jones right now.
1 or 2, I think is fair.
Yeah, probably 2, I guess.
Probably 2. Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
2.
that's fair. Yeah.
The co-main event: Khamzat Chimaev versus Kamaru Usman. Middleweight fight for Kamaru. First time him going up to middleweight. I think I was the only one on this panel that really had faith in Kamaru. I was riding with Kamaru. The first round did not go in his way, and it made me think, oh my God, this is gonna. I thought he was gonna be finished in like a minute, to be honest. When he first got taken down,
Me too.
I rewatched it last night. The whole he had him was on his body triangle at the 350 mark.
like, yeah,
He was fighting down
real
at one
quick.
point.
He was at the basically 4-minute 350 mark. He was on his back, body triangle, like chasing chokes and like knockouts.
This is a guy that got taken down 1.5 times before this.
Yeah.
1 from Leon, half from Colby.
Colby, yeah.
They didn't count it, but come on. This is insane that Khamzat just went in there and easily took him down. No real effort.
Yeah.
Which you guys said he would. Credit to you guys. You guys were like, he's going to be so much bigger. He was a lot bigger than Kamaru.
But then, I mean, we can talk about if it was the hand or whatnot. Usman.
Usman looked pretty good in rounds 2 and 3.
And I will say, as someone that was on Khamzat and I was on him inside the distance, and it obviously didn't work, but I also had him in a parlay. When he got up after the first round, his legs, I know is probably just getting them back like calibrated, but it almost was like, you know how sometimes a guy goes for a choke for 2 minutes and then it's like his arms are gone. Rodolfo Vieira, like it's happened to him, and it's like he can't even move them. His legs look like I was like, oh, he didn't step well there.
He definitely has gas tank issues.
But it's interesting.
It's because he goes for it so much in the first round. He gives everything for the finish, and then we don't have it. You have a one of the best fighters of all time still standing across from you.
But
like
he's
I'm
known as
fresh.
a cardio monster,
which is weird. Because he's never gone 5 rounds.
No.
I will say though,
he's gone 3 twice. That's it.
So here's the thing: we don't know.
He kind of gassed in the Burns fight too.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he
Towards
won
the end of that fight.
He did win. He did win the 3rd round, though. I thought.
I did too.
And this one, Usman definitely won the 3rd round.
Yeah.
Usman like dominated the third.
Like I saw some people clowning him that the judge scored it a draw. I don't think that's the craziest scorecard in the world.
I thought it was gonna be a draw at one point.
Yeah, the 2nd round was close.
2nd round super close. Usman won the 3rd. Obviously, Khamzat wins the 1st. Probably a 10-8. I scored 10-8.
I mean, Usman didn't do anything.
I had
the draw was okay.
I thought 28-28 was the likely scorecard at the end, or 29-27 Khamzat.
Yes.
Well, and Bruce Buffer kind of messed up.
Yes.
Kamaru seemed pissed about that.
Well, because he worded like it was going to be a split.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he goes 29-27, and then he's like 20. I forget which one he said next, like 20. Then he said 29.
Majority. Yeah.
He was like,
and Usman run over and started talking to Hunter about it immediately. Like, what the fuck was up with that?
Yeah, I think Bruce just made a mistake on the spot, and then was like, oh shit, I shouldn't have read the names at all. I should have just said 29-27, 29-27, 28-28.
But Usman looked pretty good on the feet. That was where he looked the best, obviously, in the fight. And he ended the fight with almost like the Max Holloway, almost like point down, let's fucking throw. And
but even
they did.
He was landing some big jabs, and I love the women's corner work. I thought in the 2nd and 3rd round was great, like in between the 2nd and 3rd round.
Good call.
Because he was like I rewatched it last night because I just didn't like how I watched it on the phone. I wanted to like really take it all in. And he just was like, you did like pressure. But he's like, every time you put him on the back foot, he like doesn't know what to do. He doesn't like, you have the cardio.
Which is true.
And when he did it, it worked every time. Like he was just popping the jab, landed it clean too.
Yeah.
Like hard, good shots.
Do you think the lack of striking skills from not skills, but within that fight had to do with the hand injury that he talked about after?
It had to have a little bit to do
I'm
with
sure,
that.
yeah.
Because he thinks he broke his hand in the first, if you didn't know.
If his hand was broken, I'm okay with that performance. If his hand was not broken, I have some concerns about KHAMZAT.
Concerns being that he's not good on the feet.
Not that he's not good on the feet. He's obviously
got like power and stuff, but yeah, his fundamentals aren't.
I don't know how you can watch that fight and then line, which we see some future lines. KHAMZAT minus 330 against Sean Strickland.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
I would give KHAMZAT a favor, but I'm saying minus 175, minus 150.
Yeah,
and I think Strickland's
talk about being in your face the whole time, putting you on your back foot. Like,
and also, it's not like Strickland's never had someone who could have just taken him down all the time. He knows how to kind of defend against that. Sure, KHAMZAT, there's always the chance KHAMZAT will go in there and just legitimately destroy you.
Mm-hmm.
But if you get into the second round against him, let's say Sean does, I don't know. I think I like Sean against him just because from a striking aspect, I would say Sean Strickland's a better striker than Kamaru Usman.
Oh,
yeah, for sure.
Yes.
So
right now, for sure.
For sure, yeah.
I mean, think about like if you it's kind of like you said, if he doesn't just like submit Strickland in the first round,
yeah,
what does the next 4 rounds look like?
What is round 4?
Yeah, exactly. Next 4,
I think I mean, even look like I think if the Usman fights 5 rounds, Kamaru wins.
100%.
I think.
He said afterwards, he's like, "Damn, I fucked up," because he got offered a 5-round fight, and he said he wished he took that.
Who, Usman?
Yeah,
because I mean, the way he was putting on in the 3rd round, I think that would only
Usman looked good at the end.
I thought that only would have continued even more so in Usman's favor. And I think in Strickland's same way, Strickland's a cardio machine.
Yeah,
and think about Strickland's won 5 rounds a bunch
of
times. He's won 5 rounds.
Even in
and he does it friggin' every day in the gym apparently.
And in the fights that he's lost in the round, like the 5-round fights he's lost, it's not like his cardio went away. He just Cannonier. It was, you could say optics, whatnot. Cannonier beat him, but it was a close fight, and he was at the end still throwing. MPI pointed out scenes when Strickland pressures KHAMZAT and makes him gas. I mean, that would just be like
Cannonier.
Imagine you see in like the end of the like 4th round, 5th round, Strickland's doing what he did. Is he at the end to KHAMZAT?
Yelling at him.
Like he was like, come on, like really calling him like a pussy, like come on, like.
So Strickland says he doesn't deserve it.
Down.
He said he would fight him, but he doesn't deserve it, right?
Yeah,
like, I'll fight him, but
he's dead right.
Yeah.
He's literally never beaten. Think about how crazy it is. I'll say I don't know if he's gonna get it. I just started realizing after this when I was like thinking about it more last night, and I was like, you know what? I was like, and this is not a shot at Dana. I think when they say these title fight things, I almost think it's like a marketing ploy to make the fight feel bigger in the moment.
Sometimes
because like that's exactly what he said about Bilal. That didn't happen.
Yeah.
Gilbert Bilal, he said this guy next is getting the next title shot at 170 no matter what. No, he ain't.
Yeah.
No, he's not.
It's true. I think the moment,
I doubt, or if he does, I'll be very surprised.
I think it is a marketing thing, but I think in the moment Dana believes himself when he says it.
Oh no,
fair.
No, you're correct. I don't think he does it like. I don't think he is this like, oh, I'm gonna say this and I'm just gonna lie to everybody.
Yeah.
He does it in the moment thinking this is a huge fight. He's throwing him some flowers for taking the fight on short notice.
Yeah.
You save the company. You're next. Like, I mean, DDP's got to be sitting there like,
yeah,
I just knocked out Robert
Whittaker.
This guy just beat Kamaru Usman at welterweight in a decision.
Yeah.
And now he's going to get the title shot?
Dana had a great Dana moment at the presser too, where someone was like, hey, I think it was maybe Mike Bone from MMA or from MMA Junkie. He was like, hey, yesterday in your press conference, you said you were going to reveal something about how this fight came together, like how this whole card came together. Like, are you ready to reveal that? And Dana was like, yeah. What the fuck was I talking about? He's like, I'm sorry. I don't know what I was talking about yesterday. He's like, I don't have an answer for you. He had no
He's just
idea.
hyping it up. He's just,
Yeah.
he's the
he said
promoter.
he's going to reveal something crazy about how this card came together. And then when he got asked, he's like, yeah, he's like, I remember saying that, but I don't have no idea what I was talking about.
That's peak Dana. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Also, you mentioned Cannonier. He's out of his fight against Roman Dolidze. Unfortunately, tore his MCL.
But now this, I don't. Has the Hooker thing been confirmed?
No,
the Dan Hooker
just
Bobby
Magic
Green
tweeted that
because that's what they're saying that's going to headline that card, which I'm not opposed to. That's a banger fight.
Oh, shout out Magic if that's. I mean he's broken fight news before.
Sources, yeah.
What was I going to ask? What was I going to say?
The Khamzat ranking.
Oh, I want to see Khamzat. I think before Khamzat gets a title shot, I think rebook Khamzat Costa.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I'd like
to see that. Costa got into a fucking fight in the crowd with the fan.
Yeah,
that was crazy.
The fan like jumped over at him. That was great.
He was like horizontal when he jumped.
That was even what Dana said. He was like, I've never seen a fan just come at a fighter like that. Yeah. That was wild.
And I put in my blog, the fan, like one of his boys jumped over the octagon with him. I said, like, credit to that guy. If you go to a UFC fight with your friend, he jumps at Paulo Costa, and you're like, all right, I guess we're going.
We're fighting Paulo Costa.
You're boys for life. Then number 9 ranking for Khamzat. We talked about it a little bit in the group chat. Let's pull up the actual ranking.
I think it's fair. I think where they put him, it's right before, but it's right before Brendan, right before Brendan Allen, and right after like the.
See, this is tough for me though because yeah, in front of him is Jack Hermanson, Roman Dolidze, Paulo Costa. After that performance, I almost feel like he should be right behind Paulo Costa.
Yeah, honestly, when you said it, the first you said Hermanson, I was in my head. I was like, he'd smoke Hermanson.
Yeah,
you know,
I think he would
like absolutely smoke him.
So I'd put him above him for sure. And then Costa, I wouldn't put him because we had this fight booked. We wanted to know. I feel like that's a good spot for him. Like put him at 7.
Paulo's just like I know he had a real situation, but like, is he ever gonna fight in the UFC again?
Yeah, we haven't seen. He signed this like huge contract. And he hasn't fought.
I'm starting to wonder the same.
That's what I mean. I get it. He had like this infection. He had this surgery, but like I'm starting to think maybe Paulo Costa just doesn't want to fight anymore. He's sick of it.
Because also I'm looking at this. I think he beats Paulo Costa. I think he beats Marvin Vettori. To be honest, I think he beats Cannonier.
Cannonier would be interesting to me.
It'd be interesting, but like I wouldn't put him above Whitaker, DDP, Izzy without seeing those fights. But like, I think I could put him at number 4 and feel.
Khamzat said he wants December. No way.
Now the other thing Dana said regarding Khamzat.
Well, Khamzat can't even fight at most of the places that he wants.
Dana
to fight.
said he hopes that's figured out.
Yeah.
He said he's got some issues, but we're hoping that's like all figured out by now.
Yeah, but then
which would be game changing.
Yeah, it would be game changing. But then his number, then right after the fight, the first person he goes and sees is Kadyrov.
Yeah, that's tough. He goes.
I don't know if that's specifically the issue. I think it is though.
I think it might be. Yeah, because he's like, especially currently. I know he's not been a good guy forever, but I think the USA like in the past 2 years declared him like an enemy of the country.
Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, he's
not a good guy.
Yeah, and he's very much on the side of Putin, Russia, whatnot.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's not in UAE, he's not fighting yet. Hopefully, I mean, I want that to be figured out for Khamzat. I don't think Khamzat's a bad guy or anything. Kadyrov is a completely different story. We don't have to get into that. But I don't know his exact issue, but I believe it's his connection with Kadyrov is very similar to Tyson Fury's connection with the Irish guy.
Yeah.
I've had a great tweet this morning about what, and we'll talk about it on Thursday.
Crumlin, is it? Or was that a different thing?
Oh,
the Irish thing?
Yeah, Irish Crumlin, thing. Yeah, I think, yeah. I've had a great tweet. I mean, Ngannou Fury is this weekend. No one's talking about it.
No, I said to Ev till that tweet. I didn't think about it for weeks.
I knew it was coming up, but then I saw when we were streaming last night, like there was a commercial for it, and I had the moment I was like, "Oh shit!" Like it's this. That's right. It's this week. I mean, no one's talking about it at all. No one gives a fuck about it.
My buddy's girlfriend kind of looks like Cannonier. That's a crazy comment from Hot Billy.
Shit, a Hot Billy.
Oh my god, Hot Billy the best. But yeah, I don't think this fight is going to be watched.
Well, I mean,
they're both going to make a lot of money good for them, but
yeah.
So they don't really care. They got the Saudi money from it, but yeah, I can't imagine it's going to sell a lot of pay-per-views. It's in the middle of like a good. I was talking with Bob earlier, like in the middle of a good college football Saturday. World Series is starting.
Yep.
Basketball's back.
Yep.
Hockey's back. It's a nice like fall Saturday. It's also in the middle of the day. It's at like 2:00.
I heard
East Coast
this
time.
is an interesting question from Ethan. Any news about Bo Nickel next fight? The only reason,
none.
no, I did get now. I got a DM out of the blue from a guy who says, "Trust me, Bo Nickel news is coming on Tuesday."
Okay.
So maybe today we'll see if that
Tuesday,
guy.
all right.
So he said fight news, like news
Yeah.
about. But so that would be
Hmm.
maybe 296.
Ooh.
Just make it the greatest card
The
ever.
card is so it's so
It's
stacked.
almost too stacked.
It's because who would you boot off the main
I
card?
know, I know. That's a good point.
Because you literally at that point you're booting off the main card. Shavkat Wonderboy, Tony and Patty, or Ian Gary and Luke. When Giga and Josh Emmett's already a prelim.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's too stacked. I think put him on the Toronto card.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Oh, and who do you think? You think they finally give him somebody that can give him like a little comp, or you think he still want to? I just want to see him fight somebody that's gonna like put some sort of like.
I'd like to see.
I want to
but
see
think
him.
he's
I want to
gonna
see.
win.
I want to make him. And I love Bo Nickel. I just want to see him work. I want to see him like really have to like go in there and work for
Like,
Oh, 100%.
work
Yeah.
for a W, not like Val Woodburn off the like
Give him
off the
Brendan
couch
Allen.
fighting way up.
Is
Brendan Allen would be awesome.
Like I would give him Brendan Allen.
If he wants ranked, like I'm here for it. Like
Yeah.
I want to see that.
Let me go to. I want to hit where is this
I
guy?
think he beats Brendan Allen.
Or even like a
Give him Paul Craig.
that'd be interesting.
All right, I'm gonna text this. So he sent it. This guy sent it to me on Tuesday. He only has 580 followers, but it's so random. He's never DM'd me before. He just said Bo Nickel announcement Tuesday.
Click on his bio. Does it say we are?
He's just from Overland Park, Kansas. Maybe one of those guys from that area is fight.
James Krause DM'd you. Just trying to break news now.
Maybe like a like Hernandez, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of guys that
because Hernandez is 15. If you want to, just
that's what I was
the
trying to think of guys
rankings
in that like
that.
10 to 15 that also can like grapple a little bit.
Like I would give him anyone in that 10 to 15. Brendan Allen, Gastelum. Gastelum's a tough fight. Imavov. Paul
Amala
Craig,
would be a decent fight.
Paul Craig, Chris Curtis, Anthony Hernandez.
And so yeah, obviously Allen and Paul Craig are fighting soon. Yeah.
Bo Nickel versus Alvey, UFC 300.
Give him the winner or loser of that fight.
Hermanson.
Brad Tavares would be a nice little
That'd be interesting.
yeah, because I mean Tavares, like I think Bo would run through him, but Tavares has a name.
Yeah.
He's a interesting. It's an actual opponent.
All right. Jesse Adams brings us to our next topic. He says, do you think they'll run back the 205 bout with Walker at some point? So Walker and Magomed Ankalaev this weekend have a fight. where
Magomed Ankalaev.
He's cursed.
Oh, dude.
But he's
He's
so
straight cursed.
dude. That knee, how that was called a no contest. I will never. I guess it's just because his last name was off in the fucking.
He knees him, and then they send the doctor in. The doctor says, "Where are you?" Johnny Walker, in typical Johnny Walker fashion, he's like, "I don't know. I'm in the fucking desert."
Couldn't be more correct.
Called the fight immediately. He was like, "This guy's not cleared to continue." And like in real time, I could not believe my ears, my eyes when he said no, he is not good to fight. Like my jaw hit the ground like a
He
cartoon
looked
character.
so ready to go.
He was fine.
In the moment, he didn't even know they called it off.
He was ready to. He was like, "All right, here we go."
Even when the ref did that, he was like, "All right,
what's
let's
his
go."
name? Fucking
Mark
no,
Goddard.
Yeah, no.
Or was it not
Mergliata.
a big Dan?
Dan Mergliata.
Or was it?
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure Mergliata. He waved him off because he didn't even flinch at first.
The ref looked pissed. The ref looked like he knew
Walker
that
was
this was
fine.
the wrong decision.
Yeah.
He was like, he's not good to continue?" And he was like, "No, he is not." And the ref had the issue earlier with Victor Henry.
That was, I'll say,
Or not the
one
ref,
of the
the
more
doctor.
shocking
Yeah,
moments.
another moment
telling
where
him he's fine.
my ears, I couldn't believe what I was hearing.
Victor Henry was in so much pain, and his pain went away for a second because he was like, "What? What did you just?"
yeah. The guy is
All
like
dick and
writhing
balls,
in
buddy.
pain. He's like, my dick and balls. Doctor comes in. He's like, "It wasn't balls, by the way." He's like, "What?" He's like, "Wasn't balls. It was like a legal kick." He's like, "It was all dick and balls." And John Anik, I love John Anik's immediate outrage. He's like, "Oh, this doctor's trying to tell me to get kicked in the testicles? Are you kidding me?" So good. So weird.
Annex that was the best part.
Josh Barnett was in Henry's corner, and he said that they had to help him to the back. immediately started throwing up in the back. They put him in an ambulance. He had to get testicular ultrasounds, and he said his balls blew up the size of like mangoes.
He says he still can't like walk like correctly.
Yeah.
Hopefully he got to stay in UAE for the past few days.
Dude, that doctor.
That'd be the worst flight home in the history of the world.
That
Also,
doctor's got to feel
Victor
like a
Henry,
fucking asshole.
I think he lost the first round, but he looked pretty good.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he was
that was
hanging in
another
there.
thing. Like, I got some people tweeting me like it was a leg kick. He quit. It's like I don't think he was in a position in that fight where it's like I need to get out of here.
Did you see Basharat post the video being
Yes.
like I told you so, when it is a clear video of him just kicking him square in the balls?
Dude, he was going back and forth after the fight with Josh Barnett in the replies. Josh Barnett's like, I'm at the hospital. I could send you pictures right now. Like, what are you talking about? And he was like, no, like your guy quit. He's the loser.
He literally posted a video where it was all the comments like, bro, I don't think this helps your case.
Yeah.
Like you're just posting it's like someone robbing a bank and posting a video of him running in the bank tunnel and being like, look,
Yeah. This
I
guy's
didn't
in a
rob this
ski mask.
bank.
It wasn't me.
yeah, I didn't rob
It's
this
like,
bank.
pretty sure those are your eyes.
Yeah,
dude.
all this money that I have in my hand, all this cash. That's
Yeah.
not
Yeah,
from the
it
fucking
was
bank.
I didn't take this from the bank.
And then the bank's like, look, we literally marked it yesterday. It's like I just got this
we have
yesterday.
video footage of you in the vault stealing the money.
Yeah. You know
Saying,
how
look,
crazy-
my name's Javid Basharat. I'm stealing this money.
It's the guy. It's that viral clip of the Dolphins fan coming into the court, pleading
Yeah.
not guilty for wearing for stealing a Dolphins jersey,
Yeah.
and he's wearing the
He's
Dolphins jersey.
Yeah. I got a text from Jeff D. Lowe after the card. This is how crazy the doctor was, where he just said that doctor was wilding today.
Yeah, he was.
Like,
It was
when
crazy.
Jeff D. Lowe is like that UFC doctor. What was his problem?
And also, it wasn't like this. He just looked so just almost like an evil doctor from a
He
movie.
did. Yeah. He had like a goatee, a bald head. Yeah.
The glasses and the way he just looked at Victor Henry. He's like, yeah, it didn't hit you then.
He's like, no, you're good, bro.
He's like, nah, you're good. What do you mean
Yeah.
good?
Shout out Victor Henry, though. I don't know if I've ever seen anyone in that much pain from a nut shot. Felt bad.
The
to
way
say.
he fell when it initially happened.
yeah, on his knees, got shot, went down.
It was like, I don't know who said it. Maybe it was you or Lee. It was like a old Western, like when you get
Yeah.
shot in the,
Yeah.
like you fall on your knees. And then,
Alex Serov, unreal, immediate like knockout, first round.
yeah, he's good.
Said Nurmagomedov, another thing, first round submission for him. The first three
Saeed,
fights were all
dude,
first round.
Saeed's front chokes are crazy.
Dude,
yeah,
They may be like the best.
He locked that in. He's done it. He did it to Cody
Yeah.
Stamann too.
And you know who he also did too? The guy who got cut that people were all mad about. What's his name? He was losing the fight against him. Fuck, what's his name?
did he get cut recently?
He's the guy who beat Ronnie Lawrence.
Saeed,
Yeah, Saeed beat him.
Cobb or whatever his name is.
Yeah,
Something,
yeah.
I've Cobb.
Ronnie Lawrence. Here we go.
It's Saeed. His name's like Saeed.
Oh
Cobb,
yeah,
whatever.
Kakramanov.
Kakramanov, yeah.
Yeah.
He got out of that fight by
That's right.
with that.
He just, because even when you see the arm, it's like up here. It's not even a ninja choke.
Yeah.
Not even a guillotine. I mean, and he had it locked in for like 3 seconds, and the guy tapped, and he was just unconscious.
It
Yeah.
looked like he was gonna crush his windpipe.
He literally was like tap, and he let go, and the guy just flopped back.
And then the guy afterwards was just so disappointed in himself because
Yeah.
I bet his game plan was do anything except that one
Except get
thing.
caught in that choke.
And then it was just so simple for him. Yeah, I mean, Saeed's and even the loss, but in my opinion, was a win against Jonathan Martinez.
Yeah.
Is aging very well too.
yeah.
Good call. Mohamed Makhachev beat Tim Elliott, submission, arm triangle choke. I texted immediately. The fraud check is coming.
Yeah.
It's coming very,
Yeah.
very soon. for
Probably the
Mohamed
next
Makhachev.
one,
I
very
think it
potentially.
I mean,
the
this
next
it
one.
almost happened here.
It almost
He
happened,
was
yeah.
he was down on 2 cards, right?
Yeah.
Like Lee said that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Trevor Peak came through with a win.
Yeah.
Like watching Trevor Peak fight, beat Muhammad
Even though
Yahya.
he did the boring thing just to say like
Yeah.
I'm not just like a crazy brawler.
Yeah. Mike Breeden, which we talked about,
Legends.
moment of the card.
Goat.
It was amazing shit.
Give Breeden. I want Breeden like headlining a fight night.
In
Yeah,
Kansas City.
I want to know
Yes.
more. I want to know more about Breeden. Tell me the Mike Breeden story.
But he's a James Krause guy, though.
Was
Is he?
He was, yeah.
Yeah, he
So
was.
maybe UFC. But hey,
Because they mentioned after he won, they were like, he's found new success in Colorado, maybe.
okay, nice. Is he at Elevation Fight
He might be. I could be completely off base about that.
with like Dustin
Mm.
Jacoby?
So Harrison Breeden versus Peak. I'm
Oh,
into
fuck
it.
That's a fight. Yeah.
I'm into it.
Yes.
Headline.
Good call, Harrison.
Sold.
Yes.
Sold. Fight night main event.
And
Sold.
then,
I'll be there no matter what.
We'll be there no matter what.
MTI with the Nathaniel Wood with the heartbreak emojis. tough fight for Nathaniel Wood. A weird
Yeah.
fight. He didn't look good at first, and then at the end, it looked like he was going to finish him. And then, like, that weird, like, Naimov
Also,
grabbing
there
his
was
glove, the ref telling him
And
stop.
then there was a lot of fence grabs.
Oh, dude, I mean, he got. I would say I'm glad he reminded me. I've read like the bad fence grab. He got kicked in the balls. So the fact that a point wasn't taken from his opponent was insane.
Dude, how about the point not being taken when Dumas was getting his hair pulled?
Oh, that was unbelievable.
Oh, ridiculous.
That was insane.
When I thought I was watching like Ricky Williams back in the day when they would like rip you down from
Grabbed
behind.
his hair and just started
And
hitting
the
him.
DC was like, I don't know if that's illegal.
Yeah.
And then
He was like, "Are we sure in the rule books?" Oh, low battery warning.
okay. Actually,
We're 40 minutes into the show.
But there's one over there.
All right, good. I didn't want the computer to just turn off as it did in the past. The show just ends sometimes, Soprano style. It's like you decide the ending.
Crazy. I actually, and with the wood fight, I put in like this. I had like a little like bonus thing in one of the accounts, and I put some like crazy like $50 parlay of like basically the entire card, and I realized at the end that it basically it came down to if Wood had won, it would literally came down to like Volk Islam for like 50 to win like a discuss. It was like 10 grand.
I hit a parlay, but
But it didn't
wasn't
matter because
impressive.
Wood lost so early.
I had a great one that was a mix of everything of college football, baseball, UFC. It all hit except for there was like Arkansas lost to Mississippi State 7-3. It was like 250 of free play to win like something ridiculous. But the DC then was really mad. People didn't understand he was joking, but he was like, "What are we talking about here?" And then Paul Felder was like, "I know you're joking, bro." He was like, "No, there's people saying it." And then
He
Paul
was checking
Felder,
Twitter mid-fight.
and then Paul Felder was like, "All right, bro." Like,
Here's my huge parlay. It was $1 to win $2.59. Islam, Khamzat, Ankalaev, which pushed Alexerov, Nurmagomedov. I just did an Oev bet and hit on plus 159.
Let's go.
There you go. And I also
wait,
explained
it won how much?
No. I think when you first said, I thought you were saying $1 to win. It was $1 to win $1.59.
Yes, the
Oh.
total. Was
And when you first
like
said, I thought it was
$2.59.
$1 to win like $259.
I was like,
Oh,
"Oh,
that'd
you
be
must have it like
crazy.
submission round two."
I thought you were gonna start rattling off literally
No,
like this
no.
guy by sub, this guy
No.
by like not like Breeden by knockout.
The
This-
most simple parlay I could have put in, just grabbed all the favorites with the Oev. Devlin said to me, Devlin, who runs Rough and Rowdy, he's like the matchmaker for Rough and Rowdy, does all that stuff. Just sat next to me yesterday, and he was like, "I gotta ask you something. What's up with all these Russians winning in UFC?" I was like, "Brother, if you see Ev or Oev, you make that bet."
Yeah, most of the time, yeah.
I said, unless they're fighting another Ev or Oev, and then it's a crapshoot.
Unless, besides, I guess even though he won, I mean the Bullet's got no takedown defense.
No, yeah,
The bullet,
which the bullet,
the pirate.
can't totally see
Pirate.
it from one side. Yeah.
Even somebody from that side asked Dana in the press conference, like, "Do you think he's the future of the sport?" And he goes, "Future of the sport." He goes, "I don't know about that." He goes, "He needs to work on his takedown defense." It was so funny, just so like blatantly honest.
I will say though, the way he throws kicks is just like, oh my god,
Dude, I last night on YouTube, I feel maybe it's called Vote Sport. There's a few that put them together, like these like montages of like these up and coming like their careers.
Yeah.
And I was watching kind of highlights of like all his old fights, like kickboxing and Muay Thai stuff, and his like MMA stuff. He throws like he knocks somebody out with like a question mark kick. I've never seen it happen in the UFC the way he did it, where like he threw it up and it literally just like he's like obviously when they throw it's like a Leon where it's like through, or like obviously like Islam's where it's like comes through. Like he literally knocked him out. Like he went like this with his foot. Like I can't physically do
Like
it.
it was like this.
Like his heel, like he went like a question mark. Like he literally went like this and knocked him out with his heel from like the opposite side.
Dude, you know who
It was
has one
insane.
of the best knockouts like that
Insane.
in the UFC is Holly Holm. She knocked out Betch Correa like that.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Remember that?
You're
Where
right.
she went up
Yeah,
and
yeah,
she
yeah.
kind of came around like
and
that.
Betch was
Like
like,
because he did it with his left foot, but from like the guy's right, like from his right side.
Yeah.
Like he took it over, like he started like he went like just bang, and just hit the guy right in the chin. And just knocked him
if
out.
you could get a clean question mark kick knockout, that's like one of the best knockouts you get.
and
in all of
Betch
them.
Carrera. That's one of those like moments in the UFC. She was talking.
She was
a lot.
talking. Yeah,
She was
I
barking,
think she said like,
Come
"Come
here."
on, like hit me,"
and then
she got brutally knocked out. She was an all-time meme fighter.
by the
Like,
way,
no disrespect, but she like made her way up to fighting Ronda Rousey in front of like a stadium full of people. Ronda just like walked through her like she was Francis Ngannou. It was crazy.
Betch Carrera. Holly Holmes' loss got reversed.
That's
Yeah,
right.
it's a no contest now.
yeah.
Another main event coming soon. Like
That's
we're
right, yeah.
Imagine.
I still can't believe she lost that fight because I was so high on her. in
I
that.
was huge. I remember when I saw there was no contest, I remember being like, God damn it. Like I lost so much money on that. I want that money back.
I want
It's
my money
bullshit.
back.
It's bullshit.
Anything else on the card before we get out of here for the day? We'll be back to talk about the weekend's fights and
We talked
Ngannou Fury
Gaethje
card.
was
There's no fights this weekend. Literally just the Fury and Ngannou,
Is
basically.
that really we don't have Bellator or one? Well,
No.
not Bellator,
No,
obviously.
There's
It's
LFA.
Sao Paulo like next weekend.
Yeah. All right, then I guess we'll just be talking about that. Maybe
Well,
figure out a
questions in the
draft or something.
chat for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll put something together. Maybe a draft.
Yeah, draft of
would
some
be
sort,
fun.
yeah.
Maybe we'll do a draft on Thursday. Thank you to everyone for tuning in. Thank you to Monaco for sponsoring the
58.
show.
like the
Yeah,
Make
like
sure
the
you like
stream.
stream.
subscribe.
If you can subscribe, we would love that as well. We got some guests on the horizon that we're going to get in the office for the New York card. Hopefully, a couple fighters in the area. Chris Weidman's going to be coming in. Billy Q, we're going to get in here.
Is it Frivola?
Frivola, of course, before his fight. So we'll see you on Thursday. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you like the stream and subscribe.